وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا. And no soul knows what it will earn tomorrow. Today you're rich, tomorrow you're poor. Today you live in a nice home, tomorrow you're homeless. Today you married to a wonderful man, tomorrow you're widow. You have great parents today, tomorrow one of them or both of them are gone. You have children today, but tomorrow some of them will go because Allah will take them away, because that's the nature of this life. Whenever you begin to hold on to things in this life, Allah lets you know that nothing is permanent but Him. And so all your life you learn to love things. And as soon as you get real close, Allah snatches away from you. Just to let you always know to remember to be humble, and that you always put your trust in Allah.
As Imam Ali alayhi salam says, Adam is a mixture of clays of different colors, cohesive materials, divergent contradictories and differing properties. From the beginning, the human being is created in such a way that he contains within himself the potential to follow different paths. The human being can contradict himself in both thought and action. The clay is both soft and hard. Then God blows into this creature of His spirit, a spirit which Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says was created by God. It is the aql, the intellect or the mind, which defines the human being and which makes this creation out of clay human. But the archetype of envy, Iblis, is able to affect the inclinations of this intellect, altering the human being's perception of himself and the world in which he exists. As Imam Ali alayhi salam says, so Iblis changed his conviction into wavering and determination into weakness. He thus changed his happiness into fear and his prestige into shame.
لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين.
بعضكم لبعض عدو. We said to them, descend and go down, where you will now be enemies to each other. وَلَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُسْتَقَرٌ وَمَطَاعٌ إِلَى حِينٍ. And on this earth now you shall have an abode for a little while, and sustenance or a means and a provision for a short while. Us, we belong in paradise. We belong in a higher realm. As part of our training now, in other words, we come to this world, and now what we are attempting to do is journeying back home. We are trying to return to that lost status that we had, and even beyond that. And there is some wisdom in this. There are some lessons we are meant to learn in this journey as we try and return to our original state. Our fitra is a compass within all of us that always points to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is something you cannot change. You can hide it, you can deny it, you can attempt to skew it, you can justify it, but you cannot change it. It always points to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is like having a massive ship in which there is a compass. The compass will point to a particular direction. The captain on the ship might decide to ignore the compass, might decide, I am going to go in a different direction. He might move the whole ship, everything will move in a different direction. But the compass will still point to one direction. It will refuse any other way. This is to ensure that you have no excuse on the Day of Judgment for going astray.
وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وقد خاب من دساها
Allah says beautifully in Surah Shams, He says, وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. It's a beautiful, universal, muhkam ayah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is basically saying to us in a decisive way, that He created this self, you and I, the being, and He perfected it, He finished it, فَسَوَّاهَا. Then He taught this being what is wrong and what is right. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. Then Allah says, what do you do with this now? Now that you have this self, and now that this self needs to go to some direction, it needs a goal. What is the goal? Decree. He says, this self, if this self, nafs, وَنَفْسِ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا, if this self purifies itself, it will be successful. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. The root word here is zaki. Zaki means to purify. قَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. And the one who will fail this goal is the one who impurifies himself. Meaning when you pollute your body, not only with the external pollutions that we think of in the general sense, but spiritual pollution. The pollution, for example, of the highest degree is idolatry. Anyone who associates anyone or anything with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the highest form of pollution. So the fundamental principle of all discussions is precisely at the base of purity and impurity. So when we talk about Allah, believe in one God, believe in the prophets, believe in the infallibility of prophets, believe in the imams, read the Quran, follow the prescriptions of the Quran, live a chaste life, live an honorable life, live a pure life, speak the truth, don't lie, be humble, be generous. All of these are means to this purity. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا.
As for the mind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us a mind to distinguish between what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is evil. The mind is the place for all logical and rational thoughts. And it helps us to decide what is best for us. As for the nafs, the soul, it's the place for all human emotions. Love, hate, jealousy, animosity, envy, ambition, lust. It's all in the nafs. There's an eternal struggle. Sometimes the mind wins, sometimes the nafs wins. It depends on that human being. If you've developed a stronger mind that allows you to defeat the nafs, the mind will always be the victor, and the nafs will be defeated. But sometimes it's the other way around. The nafs comes out victorious. That's why Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam states, كَم مِّنْ عَقْلٍ أَسِيرٍ عَنْدَ هَوًى أَمِيرٍ. How many minds are arrested, are captivated by a controlling nafs. When the nafs takes control, the mind is paralyzed. Not only is it paralyzed, but it will begin to serve the nafs. The Quran states that the best road to paradise and the road to happiness and the road to stability in your life, bringing joy and pleasure in your life, is by controlling your nafs. Putting that nafs on a leash and not allowing the nafs to put you on a leash. There's some people that control their nafs, and others, their nafs controls them. The Quran says, you put your nafs under control, and you will reach paradise.
الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور والذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون.
الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the guardian of الذين آمنوا, those who believe. What does this guardianship manifest in? What does it realize in? It manifests in يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور. He removes them. He helps them move away from الظلمات, darkness, or the depths of darkness, into nur. So this is the journey. We're moving away from darkness. That's the point of our departure, in a sense. And there's a destination that's referred to here in this verse as nur, light. What is darkness, or what are the depths of darkness? Pleasures, the material world, the material self, the nafs itself, these are all dhulumat that the human being has got to depart from and leave and enter nur. The journey of spirituality starts at this very low self, very low world, the dunya, the material world, and the material self. And we're supposed to move towards the divine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ وَلَلدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَتَّقُونَ أَفَلَا
يصدنك عنها من اتبع هواه فلا يصدنك عنها من لا يؤمن بها واتبع هواه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the source of disbelief is one. If you want to search for the reason, it goes to one reason. اتباع الهوى. This is what makes people turn away from their Lord. Disbelieve in their Lord. The rejection of the truth and justice and God and Islam and religion is following one's own desires. The most powerful sultan and leader and a president is not the one who's sitting in the White House. It's your own desires. Because the sultan, he can run his kingdom, 300 million people, he can run them easily. He can control them easily, but when it comes to his own desire, maybe he fail in controlling his own desire. We have seen very strong, very influential leaders who are able to run the business of their government very smoothly, very easily. But when they were confronted by their own whims and desires and urges, they failed. They failed in their mission. They failed. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam says the most effective governor, أفضل الأمراء, the most powerful, the most competent, the most qualified governor, من كان أميرا على نفسه. من كان أميرا. He exercises leadership and control over his own self. He said, في خلاف الهوى, to oppose your desire. Do you want to remain tension-free? No tension? No hustle in your life? No regret in your life? No remorse? No pain? في خلاف الهوى. Oppose and reject and stand firm in the face of your own desire. You will be the most relaxed person because you know you are not doing something wrong. When we do something wrong, we don't feel easy. We can't sleep the night. Allah says, I have created a device inside you, a device that comes to you in the evening. لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس lawwama, reproaching soul. It comes to you, starts bugging you, annoying you that you did something wrong. I'm not going to let you go. If the police cannot capture you, if they don't take you to the judge and the court, there is a bigger court, an internal court, an internal judge. لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوام. So you feel disturbed. You feel disturbed. You have good food, good family, good income, but something inside you says you are wrong. You did something wrong. So when you oppose your hawa and your desire, you're going to feel relaxed. You're going to live in peace. I did nothing wrong. The most happiest person, brothers and sisters, is the one who goes home at the end of the day, busy day, knowing that today